Welcome to our St. Patrick's Day edition of the Viridian podcast. Today, we wanted to share a little bit about an alternative site plan that we're considering for the northeast corner of the site. I don't expect everyone to know exactly what that means. We will show you some visuals in a minute. But basically, the city of Ann Arbor has some really aggressive sustainability and housing goals. We're trying to be I think like climate neutral by 2030. We saw an opportunity at the northeast corner of the Viridian site to do something to help meet these goals, namely removing an entire roadway to help eliminate carbon, and then increasing the number of some of our 400 to 800 square foot units in the community. Our Nest building, which is about 400 square foot units, is currently fully reserved with a wait list of about 50 people. 50 people. So we're trying to add housing diversity and improve sustainability and green space.
And aesthetics. Yeah, I'm not wearing any green today for St. Patrick's Day. My grandmother would not be happy with me. But yeah, other than just like the sustainability benefits, it's a heck of a lot better to look out from your porch and see green space and kids playing and whatnot, and not be staring at a bunch of cars. So we're trying to separate the homes from the cars as much as possible. So Sarah, why don't you go ahead and share some of the sides, show people kind of what we're talking about.
All right. Yeah, it's funny. It's St. Patrick's Day, and we want to talk about increasing green space. Can you see that?
Yes. So this is my beautiful Mickey Mouse drawing. That was kind of our first pass using Bluebeam to conceptualize what we were talking about. So you can see the buildings on the right side of the screen there. Those are Trillium Loft buildings. They originally had garages, but we decided to eliminate that after talking to some of the home buyers there. And so we're eliminating those garages. We're extending the porches, and we're turning that whole street into a green space area. Where originally you'd be looking out at that roadway, it'd be a little bit noisier. Now we are making really like a large bioswale, which is kind of an adapted use green space. It's going to have, I'm hoping to plant a fruit tree or two also. Might be able to enjoy a snack while you're enjoying the green space. Go to the next slide, Sarah.
Well, I just want to say before we move on from this, you can sort of see like this road existed just to get to some private garages. So this new idea that we have that we're working on, that's not fully confirmed yet, but we think it's going to be a much better plan overall. It adds this new green space, which really helps tie these buildings into the site a lot better. So
and don't forget, go back. We want to mention the larger building. So because we have so many people on the Nest waiting list, we've eliminated those 5 terrace homes with those 2 buildings, and we've combined that space into one large building, which is going to have a mix of around 750 square foot units to our 400 square foot micro Nest units. So the more opportunities for the people on the waiting list to get into that same home type at a similar price point, and benefit from all the green aspects that we're about to show you.
Yeah, these numbers are a little outdated. There's 18 units. There's like 4 studios, 8 1-bedrooms, and 6. I don't think does that get you to 18? Yeah, 6 2-bedroom. And did you say, I don't know if you said this, but the building will have an elevator. So all of these will be accessible. And then by eliminating garages in these buildings, we add 4 more first floor units, which would also be accessible. So we're also increasing the amount of accessible housing that we have in the neighborhood. So I'll jump to this because I think this is a good illustration of what we're really trying to do and what it could look like.
Yeah, absolutely. So those circles, right? You see those different sizes. So the big ones, those are trees. The smaller ones are shrubs, et cetera, et cetera. So really the whole idea here is to create more social interaction. And by having these really large front porches, you're going to be able to interact with your neighbors, both at your porches and within the green space. And the way this is graded, so if you know anything about topography, it's graded from north to south or from from left to right on the screen. So that middle channel is, during a rain event, there's going to be water kind of flowing through there. It'll make a nice, aesthetic biophilic feature. And then we have a little bridge on the left side of that green space that's going to be able to access the sidewalks and get from the parking area over, into the buildings. And that's not going to be concrete sidewalks. We're looking at using the recycled plastic eco-raster with gravel infill for the actual sidewalks. And then that whole green space is, an adaptive use. One of the first concepts I kind of came up with, first thoughts, that was like, okay, well, where can I read a book on a dry day? Where are kids going to be able to play and climb? And, these are the type of aspects that we're really taking into consideration when designing this, trying to make it as practical as possible. And we're gaining some inspiration from the internet, from other projects that have done something similar. You can see children playing there, in more of like a interactive environment than just a typical, flat green grass, which would be, kind of boring. This is a little bit more fun and interactive. Also meets the needs for our stormwater management as well.
We do have some flat green grass areas still, so there'll be something for everyone. And I was on the site after one of the weather events, I think before the snow, the other week, and this is exactly the area where the water was sort of flowing through. So, where before this was planned to be a roadway, like, Matt has talked a lot about, like, we're designing the site around where the water wants to go. Like, this is very much where the water is going. So I think that putting a bioswale there, more rain capture, rather than having it a roadway, makes a lot of sense from that aspect as well. And it's going to be really pretty.
And you can see there on the just in front of the parking spaces, Sarah, if you can kind of help me to hover, there's the EV chargers. We're hoping to install a couple of those there as well, and we're looking at some creative mobility options for a potential car share and bike share program. This is something that I really enjoyed. I lived in Germany for a couple of months, and I can tell you most of my friends there did not even own a car. They had a subscription for, I think it was like $25 or $50 a month. And you just go on the app, you reserve, okay, I want a car, at this time. And then you go in, you swipe the card, and you get, access to the keys, use the car, you fill it up with gas, and then you return it. So, hopefully we'll be able to do a car share program with electric cars, and kind of give people the opportunity to avoid a monthly car payment, a monthly, car insurance. It's $1,000 a month. Yep. That would be a potential savings for something that, if you work from home a lot, you're not using, 75-90% of your day, but meanwhile you have this huge payment. So obviously huge sustainability impacts, and so it's a great kind of nuanced, different kind of thought process, different lifestyle than your kind of conventional Michigander that growing up in the greater Detroit area. Cars are everything, whereas going into the future, we see it being more of a shareable commodity.
Yeah, absolutely. And if if people that live here that don't have their own garage or reserved parking spot have a car, there's still plenty of parking on the site, really close to the site, so that won't be a problem. But really, we want to expand options for people. Bikes, cars. We're right by a bus line. Because there isn't really a reason to necessarily have to own at least more than one vehicle anymore. There's a lot of options, especially the location of the site. So that's a big part of the consideration of this plan. And actually, we love feedback. So you could, write in the comments of this on YouTube what you think, or feel free to send us an email and just let us know if this is something that you think is a good idea, that you would love to live here. We're going to be reaching out to people on the wait list as well.
And if there's other aspects, with this design that you would rather see, or if you don't like this design, we're open to feedback. This is essentially an alternative right now. We have not committed to this. The civil infrastructure gives us the adaptability to make a decision on this over the next 6 to 9 months of what this area is actually going to look like. So we have not fully committed to this. We really want to just to create this rendering, prioritizing sustainability and quality of life rather than prioritizing cars. So we put this together. We're sharing it with some of the people on the waiting list. And with our audience here, we really want to get your feedback and see if this is in line with your values and the type of environment you want to live in. So let's share that last photo, Sarah. And then
yeah. So you can actually see the green, see the enhanced green space of the community.
Yeah, we should have added like a little, dancing leprechaun or something for today. Yeah, it was kind of short-sighted, but
leprechauns would love this area. We'll have lots of clover for them.
Anything else you want to add, Sarah? You want to wrap it up for today?
I think that's probably good. Oh, I have a special visitor. All right. Say hi. You're on a podcast.
There's our leprechaun. Perfect.
My little leprechaun. All right. Hold on. On that note, I think we'll wrap up for today. Again, please give us your feedback. We've shared this before, I think, but we want to make sure that we're really sharing this plan as we try to finalize it. We're not, we want to hear from the people that will be living in the neighborhood what you think, but just the way that goals of the city, goals of the country in terms of housing and sustainability, we really think that this is a good way to help meet all kinds of goals. So, all right.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.